Hello and welcome back to Jay's Bricks Mix. Today I'm going to play the LEGO Ninjago Movie video game and narrate my thoughts and expectations for next season. Also subscribe if you agree with me. LEGO has released a teaser for it. It's coming out in March or May. Of course, I'll link that down in the description. As we head to my favorite location in the entire LEGO Ninjago Movie video game, I'm going to address what I'm most pumped for first. The return of Jay. There was one clip that looked like he had a pasta drainer on his head next to some administration computers that looked like they were about to break. Obviously, I'm expecting this to be a memory machine because who isn't, right? And yes, I did use the term memory machine. I did see the thumbnail for that Tanner Fishies video. I did not watch it though. Clickbaiter. That specific scene I just talked about in the season is going to be a big inspiration and a YouTube short I plan on releasing in the future. I'm also going to address another notable thing about the trailer, is that everyone was still wearing their second half season 3 DR outfits. That is honestly kind of annoying because I wanted to see the new outfits in action. So this means all the clips they showed are from essentially the first 5 or 6 episodes of the entire season. Unless those new outfits are just strictly for the Dragon Power. Aaron and Sora, will those outfits come in with the second half, if this is the case of the Dragon Power? Another thing I think we can all clearly look forward to is more action sequences featuring Lloyd. By the way, I actually did create a special Lloyd custom in here, because I honestly liked the ZX outfits better, but I also like the modern day heads better. I essentially made the 2026 Legacy minifigures before they even came out. Kind of crazy. Anyway, I am really excited to see more fight scenes with Lloyd, because his fight scenes are the best. He does all of the throwing around with his sword. Something that you don't really see out of any of the ninja. Kai's is a very basic technique. Nia does some flourishing, but it's usually only for the start of her fights or the end of them. And Jay hasn't flourished his nunchucks in a few seasons. How long has this been going on? Oh, not that long. A few years. And another thing I will be looking forward to in the next season is how this Frack having a crush on Sora is going to play out. This is honestly a bit weird, and I kind of see what LEGO's doing with the Frack minifigure at the moment. Let's look at Wildfire's history real quick. So she didn't have much of a role in like the first half of season 1, right? The same is said for Frack during his first half of the season, which was the second half of season 2. Now, Frack actually didn't get a minifigure in that half, I believe. Correct me in the comments if you want. But Wildfire did get a minifigure in her half. That was only ever released in one set, and I bet that minifigure's price has risen above the set's original price in like another 10 years. If we look at Frack, he was first released with the second half of season 3, where he didn't have as big a role as he had in the previous half, but he was only released with one set and a foil pack in the Ninjago magazine in, I think, Europe maybe? I don't know if they do that in the US. So that means that there aren't going to be any Frack minifigures this wave, but next wave, LEGO's going to go all out on Frack figures. Like they did with Wildfire, is they released her once with season 1 wave, skipped over her for the first half of season 2, then went crazy with her for season 3, second half 2, and I honestly haven't seen Wildfire in any sets this time around. It makes sense though, because they've already done enough of this outfit. I'm ready for a change in Wildfire, which is why I did a custom using a civilian's shirt from one of the LEGO Ninjago City sets. Let's get back on track. One thing I noticed in the trailer is one scene, Frack has the prismatic blade as he keeps Sora from falling to her doom or something like that. And then there's the next scene where he's running from the monster thing, he doesn't have the prismatic blade. So either that's an animation error, or there's going to be some explanation for the lost prismatic blade that Imperium worked so hard to upgrade. I don't know how it's going to go with the Source Dragon, but I'm assuming that they're going to save the Source Dragon from these elemental monsters or the villain for the season, which I think it's supposedly Dr. LaRoe and Jordana. I haven't seen the minifigures in the sets, although I actually think it was confirmed by the writer, but that's not the point. They're gonna save the Source Dragon of Life, and then Life is like, how can I repay you? Then there's probably gonna be a whole, why aren't you on the Source Dragon Council? I quit cause blah blah blah. You can repay us by going back to your job. Fine. Leaves. That's how I imagine it'll go. Okay, fantastic news. The official trailer for Season 4 just launched after I'd finished recording everything for my teaser trailer review. So I went ahead and got screenshots of the parts of the trailer that interested me most, and I will discuss those points. I will start off with one of the most surprising aspects of it. Wildfire scored a hit using a weapon-ish thing. That has got to be a first. Second, we have Ryu. He is like so peak in this scene. It's pretty cool he can fight now. I think it's worth the upscale. Then we move on to this guy. I get the feeling he's the administrator, although his line alarms me. Does this mean that they'll only be partially successful in returning his memories? But at the same time, does that mean Jay won't remember Season 6? That'll be a perfect situation. And there was this scene where Cole was fighting a monster I don't think Legos released in any of their sets. Comment down below if I'm wrong on that. Next up, we're going to address this. Frack's dad. Now, that is kind of surprising. His eyes are very unique color. I don't know why his eyes are that color. But what's even more surprising is this badge he has to the Explorers Club. Impressive he got in, considering you need 10,000 hours of certified exploration, and we will begin the multi-year process of examining your application. Now, this scene I am really curious about. First of all, what is Frack holding? Second of all, why does he have this wooden board sign around his neck saying warning, and then there was something else I couldn't read? Yeah, either Frack is going to nearly die, or he is just, yeah, he's not going to make it to his future sets I talked about. Sorry if that last prediction was a little bit dark, but the Oni trilogy is keeping me on pins and needles every time there's a new season. LaRoe theory confirmed. I totally heard her voice, even with that modulator. You believe you only have one true potential? I guess that means that his true potential all the way back from Season 2 is now his false potential. In all seriousness, I think that compared to how the Source Dragon looks in the scenes we've seen, her actual Lego set is small, because I actually have the head of that build, except it was in front of the temple bounty is like a decoration. Having a rough day, Lloyd? We've all been there. Okay, I'm excited for this. This would be creepy if the eyes were red. Tell me what sets this comes in. And I don't just mean the legs, torso, shoulder pads, mask, head, and hair. I mean, like, the mask, dragon wings, tail, and all. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and check out some of my other videos.